Good afternoon, guys. Damien Jones here again for you today. And today we're going to be taking a look at these two little chappies. This, of course, is from Return of the Jedi. It's Bib Fortuna, who was basically Jabba the Hutt's, his advisor, or his PA, if you will. He basically stood next to Jabba the Hutt and shit stirred in his ear, really, in the film, didn't he? And here he is. As usual, I've got both variations of this, or both main variations of this figure. Here, the one which I'm moving around now, is the British version by Palitoy. Let me see if we can get the camera in so we can see this guy properly. There he is. And you'll notice he has a different staff to the other variants. In fact, I'll take these guys off the stands and show you them in turn, because they're a little awkward on this camera. Basically, we've got the American Kenner version of Bib Fortuna, and here, the one that I'm wiggling about now, is the British Palitoy version. So, I think we'll start off with the Kenner version. Okay, let's take a look at the figure. He's got a very nasty face, hasn't he? It's a lovely figure though, this. It's got like, as I say, it comes with this big staff. He's got these marvellous tentacles and this lumpy type head. And it comes with this lovely velour sort of velvet cape, which is really high quality. I loved this figure as a kid. I absolutely loved it. And obviously inside, providing your version of this is complete, you should have a little rubber breastplate belt type thing. And that is basically Bib Fortuna from Return of the Jedi. This figure, he originally came into production in 1983, and he was immensely popular, and he was actually one of my favourites as a kid. Although I never had this version, and the reason how I know mine was a Palitoy and not a Kenner one is because if I bring the Palitoy one over, right, we're going to wiggle them around together and you can see a very distinct moulding difference between the two figures. First of all, here, you'll notice that we've got two very different staffs that he carries. The Kenner version, I have to say, loses out, in my opinion, on that score, because theirs is quite thin, and our British version's quite thick. Now, the Kenner version, as you can see, is like a brownish colour, and our British version is more grey. I prefer our version to the Kenner version. We turn them around and you can see immediately that there's also a difference between the cape as well. They're both this lovely velour, but the Kenner version is darker and the UK Palitoy version is pale and actually a lot softer. But they're both nice. I'm going to turn them around so you can see the glaring differences in the head sculpt variation. You'll see the tentacles are quite different, especially as we get round the back. The Kenner version sort of curls up, and the Palitoy version literally wraps around the body. As you can see, if I move his arm up, you'll see that it actually wraps around him. It wraps around his body, and I remember having this. I remember having this version. Neither of these figures, neither versions of these figures are very rare. In fact, they're very, very common. A lot of these were sold, millions and millions, in fact. And believe it or not, neither the Kenner or the Palitoy version are the rarest. The rarest version actually had a completely different coloured coat. and it had the same head sculpt as the Kenner version, and it had a what's the word? It had a burgundy coloured, completely different coloured burgundy cape or coat, if you will. And that's about it, guys. Really, that is the vintage Star Wars Return of the Jedi Bib Fortuna from Jabba's Palace. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, give me the thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe for more, because I'll be doing a lot more of these vintage Star Wars figures as the days go on. For now, though, I'm Damien Jones. Cheers for watching.